I am like trying to thaw out. It is, so I was like, why am I so cold? I had like a fuzzy onesie on before I sat down right now, and I'm trying to thaw my hands out with this tea. I look at my damn thermostat and it is literally 65 degrees in my house. And I'm just like, I love it very cold. So I literally have like blankets on blankets, but like, oh my gosh. Okay. So anyways, I'm starting to thaw out with my tea here. I wanted to do this video because first of all, it's been on my to-do list since my 2.5-year-old was 8 weeks old when we traveled to Germany, Croatia, Slovenia, and I'm missing one. We went one other place. I can't remember. Anyways, it was wild. My sister got married in, hi Diana. My sister got married in Germany. Otherwise, I probably never would have been brave enough to attempt this trip, but it actually turned out really well. And there was a few things that we did that were very helpful, and I want to share that with you. So this video is kind of all encompassing. It is going to cover first and foremost, things to keep your toddler happy and occupied during flights, layovers, etc. Tips for you for traveling in general. And then I'm gonna have some baby, newborn, not walking yet, specific tips for you. So bear with me throughout the video. Hopefully you find it useful. A lot of you were saying that you couldn't wait for me to put this video out. So this will be the last piece of content I filmed before Thanksgiving and all that is over. It's coming up super fast. So I'm sure a lot of you are traveling. Hopefully I can get it out fast enough. But I'm somebody who I have always had anxiety being away from my home for long periods of time. So travel makes me have anxiety. I get really just like stressed out in general and kind of snippy when I'm traveling. And this was before I even had kids. So now that I have kids, traveling is even more stressful to me. I love being at the end location, but I hate going through security. I hate being on an airplane, sitting next to strangers and breathing the air that they're like coughing into. Like I just like really pretty much don't like any part of it. Before I had kids, I was able to like order some wine and like sit at the airport bars, and I was, you know, single, and I made fun of it. And now with kids, it is a lot more stressful, but there are things that you can do if you are prepared, to make it less anxiety filled. So if you're here, you're about to travel, I've got some good tips for you. I also took a lot of things into consideration that you guys sent to me in my DMs, and I have a list here. So I'm gonna be going through my computer, some of the items I have here, and I'm gonna show you guys, but don't worry, everything will be linked in the description box below. So take a look down there if you wanna see apps or anything that I mention. I'll probably even throw some things in there that I don't mention as I think of them. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with things to keep your toddler occupied. Now, what I like to do, even when I go to restaurants, I have little backpacks and I pack them full of things that I get at the Five Below store, at the dollar store, whatever, and I have them ready to go, and I add things in there that they have never, like Harlow has never seen. So Harlow's my 2.5-year-old, and I also have a 14-month-old. So in the backpack, I have things for both of them that they've never seen, that are new and exciting, and I only pull those things out when we're like at a restaurant so that it's new, fun, and it keeps them occupied. Because typically, if you bring the same old toys traveling with you that they've seen, the same old books, it's not gonna be as fun and exciting. And I love the idea of making traveling something for them that they enjoy and they look forward to, because I hating sitting on planes. Like I hate that. Like I don't like that. So I'm hoping to like change my kids' perception of traveling a little bit and sitting on airplanes and make it something exciting and fun for them. So you can do this very cheaply. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go to the dollar store. They have some great little items and craft things that you can do. Lots of things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing is I am a big fan of buying things used. So like just yesterday, I went to the thrift store. There's a specific one that's actually scattered across the country. I believe there's one in Nashville. There's a couple here. It's called Once Upon a Child. They have a great toy selection, books, etc. I bought a bunch of shoes and warm stuff for them. Another place I love to get kids items is Mercari. So I bought all of these little Polly Pockets on Mercari, and obviously this has to be age appropriate. Like if your child is not into dolls or they're not quite old enough for this, then maybe it won't work. But I bought a whole pack of Polly Pockets, and you have to be careful with these a little bit because I'm not gonna bring this entire thing because like, let me just show you how tiny the shoes can be. Like very small, you'll lose these all over the place. But it takes them a lot of time to put these little outfits on. It's really good for hand-eye coordination, all of that good stuff, but they can get their little Polly Pockets dressed. So I will be whittling this down to a smaller pack. These little packs you can find on Amazon for very cheap. I will link them, but it's really nice to stay organized. I like that I can see what's inside. So I will definitely be bringing some Polly Pockets, and when I make this even smaller, it's gonna take up even less space than this. And if you get your child a seat, which you do have to do over the age of 2, I believe it is, they're gonna have their own carry-on and personal item that they are allowed. So you can pack a little bit more than you used to when you just had the lap baby. So Polly Pockets will be coming with us. I will be taking out all the shoes. They're very tiny. iPad. My daughter just started pooping in the toilet and I'm very proud of her. And so she has been having a little bit more pewter play. She calls it her pewter. It's an iPad. It's my iPad from like 1975. I actually keep it in my closet to help me get dressed in the morning. I pull up my Pinterest board and it inspires me on what to put on my body. But she has been getting to use that after she goes poop. And so she has had a little bit more play with that, but we do not currently, not that this won't ever change, but we currently do not allow screen time of any kind other than, I shouldn't say of any kind. TVs we do here and there, but when it comes to the iPad, like out and about, we do not do that. We do not allow her to play games on phones, and everybody's different. I'm not shaming anybody that does that, just for us, we don't. So for the airplane, it is something that she gets to do while we travel, whether that is a road trip or on a plane. So it's something fun, shiny, new, and exciting that she can play with that she doesn't always get to. So I will show you. Of course, I left it up to my husband to buy this. So you wanna get like a pack like this. This kind of sits, a package for it, I should say. It helps it so it doesn't break, obviously. And you can use it as like a little kickstand kind of deal. Of course, I left it up to my husband. He bought the most attractive color possible that this came in. So we just stuck with it because we had no time to exchange it last time. But one problem that I did run into when it came to the iPad is that I did run into a lot of issues because obviously on a plane, there is no Wi-Fi typically. So if you don't want to pay for Wi-Fi for your child, there are quite a few apps that you can get a hold of that are offline apps. So I will share those with you in the description box below. There's also, if you're going on a road trip or something and you have access to be able to get on Wi-Fi or you know, internet of some kind, whatever, there's an app called Happy Kids and it has literally every kids show. It's got Blippi, it's got Cocomelon, and it's totally free and you can just stream all of those. It's so flipping cold. My nose is like, I'm trying to get over this little cough that my little gremlin gave me and it's just like been the worst. Like the last few nights, like I just wake up in the middle of the night and have that itch in my throat where I just like have to cough for like an hour and be so annoying, and poor Nick is in bed and I'm like, I am so sorry. Couldn't find any lozenges. Oh. All right, so this next thing, this was an idea from one of you on one of my previous trips. I thought it was such a great idea. My daughter loves to like mother her baby doll. Like she has like 12 of them and she's always doing something different with one of them. So one of you had a great idea, or maybe I saw it in a video, I'm not really sure. Anyways, they said, create a little diaper bag for the baby and give it to your child when you get on the plane so that it is now her job to take care of her baby doll. So I did just that. I made a little diaper bag for my daughter. It has some diapers in here, milk, juice, a pacifier. It has some clothes in here that she's never seen. So I just put it in this little, I bought these on Amazon. I just put it in here. So I'm gonna give this to her and this will be her baby's diaper bag and she can take care of her baby during the flight. She also, like I'll have these anyway, but wipes, like loves to clean things. So she'll clean her baby with the wipes. whatever. Now Wyatt has been doing that. He like grabs wipes out of stuff and just like will go over and like clean the table. It's really funny. But I thought that was a really great idea, so I had to include that one. This is something that I got on Amazon, and I'm realizing as I go, a lot of these are for like girls. Not that boys can't play with girls' toys, but typically like girls are into this stuff, but there are versions of all of these things for boys. So this is a little magnetic doll dressing kit. She has some wood ones of these, but they're very heavy, so I didn't want to bring those. So they give you these different sheets of clothes, and they're magnetic, and you can dress the girls. They give you 3 sheets in this specific one. There's a lot of these online. I got this one on Amazon. And they give you this little scene where you can dress this girl here. You can put the other girls on here. So I'm hoping that this keeps her busy. She's never seen it before, but I thought it was a really cute idea. One thing that one of you said that I thought was a really great idea was Play-Doh. Now, it never would have occurred to me to bring Play-Doh on an airplane, but there is a table in front of them, and you can just bring a couple little things or just use anything that they have like on the plane. Like if they have like plastic fork and a knife, that's super fun with Play-Doh. You can roll it out on the thing. So I will bring a few canisters of Play-Doh. Harlow absolutely loves creating things with Play-Doh. She loves making me fake little ice creams, and it's a lot of fun. So I definitely will be bringing Play-Doh, and I highly recommend that as well. Also with the iPad Note, make sure you bring headphones that are charged and a way to charge them. I'm really sensitive to sound, so like when people are out and about and they don't have headphones on, I just think it's like one of the rudest things ever. So make sure you bring your headphones. Don't be that person. No one wants to have to sit there and listen to your kid's annoying game. This I found when I was just searching on Amazon. I thought it was a really great idea, really good for hand-eye coordination as well. But this is a set for creating jewelry. So you lace these like large beads, and it's good for fine motor skills. You can count and do patterns. You can do shape matching, color matching, sorting, basic skills development. So, and it already comes in this like nice little bag. It's very, very lightweight. So I think that Harlow will really like to play with this. Melissa and Doug also has books that you can color with water, and as you put water on the pages, they turn colorful. So it's kind of like an interesting way to like color, but obviously you can bring your traditional coloring books with crayons. I would highly recommend leaving the markers at home for many different reasons, but the crayons are always good. Another random little thing that you probably have floating around is cards. My daughter loves to play with cards. Now I would only bring like 10 for her, and put them in a bag or something, but like cards, she like loves to play with those. I don't know what it is, but that's always a really good one that you probably already have sitting around the house. Melissa and Doug also has books that you can color with water, and as you put water on the pages, they turn colorful. So it's kind of like an interesting way to like color, but obviously you can bring your traditional coloring books with crayons. I would highly recommend leaving the markers at home for many different reasons, but the crayons are always good. Another random little thing that you probably have floating around is cards. My daughter loves to play with cards. Now I would only bring like 10 for her, and put them in a bag or something, but like cards, she like loves to play with those. I don't know what it is, but that's always a really good one that you probably already have sitting around the house. There are also little sensory bins that you can create on your own, depending on how old your child is, whether they want to count or sort, little kind of tackle box type ones that are super awesome. A couple other things are, these are like little, this was a set, so I'll show it to you, but these are like little puffy stickers, and they go on these different scenes, and you can open these up. There's like multiple here. And they're very lightweight, and you can stick the stickers on these different scenes, and they show you the sticker that coordinates with or corresponds with the little booklet. And there's just multiple ones. Here's like a vehicle one, and I know some kids hate this, and I know some kids really like it. So the one thing for sure though is that it's new and exciting, and so you're sure to get like a little bit of time and entertainment out of this for them. This is also fun. These are window clings. So these will cling to the airplane window. They can be removed and placed somewhere else. They're puffy, they're fun. cheap. You can find this kind of stuff at the dollar store too, so this is always a good one. This next thing, there are so many versions of this. This is a busy book. There are different versions of this that I'm gonna talk about in the infant section, but this one is specifically for learning. These you can peel off and put them back. They've got let's count to 10, color matching, shape matching. I won't go through the whole thing. This one is a little bulkier than I wanted it to be and a little heavier than I wanted it to be. But between us all, because we all are allowed to bring a bag on, I think we'll be fine. And one last thing for the toddler section, which applies to infants as well, snacks. Bring lots and lots of snacks. For a previous trip, I bought those small little thin tackle boxes. You can put things that you get from the dollar store in there that are fun to look at. You can also just load that with dry snacks that they can kind of pick and choose what they want. They can lay it out on their table and kind of eat from it. I find that food, even for me on flights, is like one of my #1 things. I just like to have a good selection of snacks, so don't forget the snacks, don't skimp, bring lots and lots of snacks. This video is gonna be longer than I anticipated, sorry about that. Recently we went to the library. I would highly recommend going to the library because I just kept buying new books and new books because I was so sick of reading the same ones that we've had, and I'm sure my child is as well because I feel that way. So we went to the dollar store, got a bunch of books. They have some paperbacks that are really lightweight. You don't get charged late fees anymore. I'm pretty sure that's like across the board in all different states, but you can keep them for 3 weeks. It's really nice to have fun, exciting new books for your flight. And depending on if you're going to be putting your child to sleep on the flight, this is a really good thing to do to like kind of get them like cozy and quiet and like ready to go to sleep. There's also an app for that that's specifically meant for winding down. So I'll link that one in the description box below as well. This item right here, for some reason, has gotten more expensive on Amazon. You can also buy this on Temu, but this is actually good for adults too. It is super cool. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but you can draw on it and it's like colorful. You can get like a pack of these. You used to be able to get a pack of these for like $16. I think they're like $16 each now, but I originally bought this for about $9.99. This has been a hit since Harlow was like 1.5 because little babies can scribble on it and have fun with it. Adults can play tic-tac-toe or hangman or something like that. Kids can write their numbers on it. They can draw their name. You can even have them like retrace things that you draw, whether it's shapes or whatever. So this has always been a great one. We always take this to restaurants with us. It's very lightweight. It comes in lots of different colors. Highly recommend. Let's move on to baby things to just keep your life easier, make things just more comfortable for everybody. So this is not necessarily all for entertainment. It's kind of all just clumped into one, how to just make your life easier traveling with a baby, like a newborn, a baby. Make sure you bring extra warm clothing. It can get very cold. No, Jessica. It can get very cold on airplanes, and you definitely want to make sure that you have some different changes of clothes in case they soil and it like poop up the back, basically. One thing for entertainment that I discovered with Harlow when she was 8 weeks old and we were traveling overseas is I screen recorded on my phone. You can do this on an iPad as well. That's why I was saying I would mention the iPad later for a baby. I could just say baby. Do we all know what I'm saying? Okay. Screen record sensory videos. That is something that saved our life when we were traveling. She loved watching the shapes dance around and move, and I made sure there was no sound, of course, but those were really great for her to watch. So definitely screen record anything that your child likes to watch and just save it in your camera roll so you can get to it whenever you want. And it's just something that you can pop out and it's just something different to look at. Bring a blanket. Obviously, if they fall asleep, you're gonna want to use a blanket for so many different reasons. You know, the less stuff that your baby can touch on an airplane, the better. And also it's really great for when you have layovers or you're waiting for your flight and you have a lot of extra time. You can lay the blanket out, they can have tummy time, they can roll around. You obviously don't want your baby crawling around on the dirty carpet. So that was super useful for me. When we traveled with her overseas, having, you know, these really long travel days, I was able to pull a blanket out and let her roll around, eat snacks, and not feel like, oh, she just dropped her pacifier on the ground, I gotta clean that. It fell on the blanket, so we were good. Prep your bottles for takeoff and landing, because inevitably you are not going to have access to water for quite a while when you take off. Bring a pacifier. I would highly recommend clipping that to their outfit so they don't lose it or drop it on the ground and get it dirty. But them sucking on either the pacifier or a bottle during takeoff and landing will help their ears pop, so that they don't have this just awful sensation of their ears needing to pop. So what I would do, or have done, it depends on if your baby has to have like a warm bottle. Mine never cared, so I would just make sure I had a bottle of water ready to go that was room temperature, and I would already have my formula in the bottle so that I could make it quickly as soon as I needed to, you know, when all hell was breaking loose and she just like needed a bottle immediately, because inevitably that was the one thing that would get her to actually be quiet. This is a random note if you are flying overseas. Not all airlines have this, but we traveled to Germany on Lufthansa, and in the bulkhead, if you sat at the bulkhead, you could request that. You could actually call prior to your trip. And there is a little infant carrier that they stick on the back of that, and you can actually put your baby to sleep in there. So check on that if you are flying overseas or have a really long flight. That might be an option. You can bring noise blocking, I want to keep calling these headphones. They're not headphones, but basically, why can't I think of what they're called? You put them over their ears. They're for like loud noises, like we put them on our kids when we took them to the monster truck rally, etc. Those can be really good for flights, because inevitably they're going to come on the loudspeaker and scream in your ears, and it can startle your child if they're sleeping. So those are really good for all ages. You can also bring a car seat with you on the plane so that you can strap that into your seat next to you if your infant needs to sleep and you need hands-free for a while, or you just want to have them sitting somewhere because they can't hold their head up or they don't sit up yet. It's super handy because you can just pop them in that. This is, of course, if you get a seat for them. Pop them in that. You can feed them, they can play with things, and you kind of essentially hands-free. Another thing that I'm gonna tell you right now is there are bags that you can put your stroller in, you can put your car seat in. These travel with you for free. You have two options. You can check them at the gate, or you can check them when you check your bags at the ticket counter. So one reason you may want to check your stroller at the gate is a huge pain in the dick because you have to carry all this crap through the airport. However, if you have a layover, it is gonna be really nice to have a stroller, let me tell you. Also, something that you can do is you can hide other things in there. So what we did when we flew to Germany is we brought our baby Bjorn, the baby bouncer, and that is something that kept my daughter so entertained because she could bounce herself in it. And we used that in the airport lounge. We used that while we were just waiting for our flight. And we were in the bulkhead, so I could actually pull it out and use it in front of us on the flight. So that was super, super handy. You can actually put it in there. So if you stick that in the bag, then you have access to it in between your flights, on layovers, etc. One thing to also make your flight a little more comfortable is bring little doggy bags, not only for your soiled diapers so the entire lavatory doesn't stink, but also you can put trash in it. I personally hate when a bunch of trash accumulates like at my seat and in my seat back pocket, like during my flight. Like I can't stand that. So I love to keep my little trash bag and I put everything in there. It keeps everything contained and not spilling. So I highly recommend bringing a little roll of doggy bags for that reason. I just bought something for this flight. I do not know if I'm going to be allowed to use it, but some airlines will let you use it. It is a blow-up bed, so it goes across the seat and down to the floor so that you have that whole space to utilize as a bed for your child. Somebody did tell me that, rudely enough, I know it's the rules, but geez, like, can we just like bend them for a minute here? Like her baby, she got the baby all set up to sleep. Flight attendant came over and was like, yeah, you gotta put that away. And so she had to wake her child up, put the whole thing away. So you can check with your airline in advance to see if you're able to use it, or you can just roll the dice like I'm going to and just bring it and hope for the best. If your baby does not have a seat, even if they do have a seat, I highly recommend bringing a baby carrier. Do not forget this, because when you are walking around at the airport, you will probably want to use this. Also, it is super handy if your baby is wanting to sleep. Then you don't have to hold them. However it is that you're gonna hold them, they are strapped to you. You can eat, you can drink, you can use your hands. Whatever you need to do, you are free to do. And that is the end. Hopefully that just wasn't like super boring. I cannot believe I talked that long, but inevitably when I'm gonna sit down and talk about something, it's gonna be a long time. Sorry. Hopefully you guys found that useful, and some of the links down below will help you out. I am linking everything, as I said, so check that out. If you have any tips of your own that I did not mention, or you have something to elaborate on, or a specific like item to link us to, please comment below. And if you are looking for even more tips, then check out the comments below, because I'm sure you're gonna find some good gems in there from seasoned mamas who have figured out a great way to travel. And I haven't talked about this for a while, but I do have a Facebook group for moms. There is no shaming allowed. It is a guilt-free place you can share positives, negatives, struggles, get advice, get tips, whatever you're looking for, you can find it there. It is called the Real Moms Club. I will link it for you below as well. I hope you guys have safe holidays and safe holiday travels, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.